Surprise, surprise. We got some gaming news to talk about today. After that Pokemon Presents presentation, I was hopeful that something interesting would happen, and something interesting did happen. Another game was announced for the Nintendo Switch that's also coming to Xbox and PlayStation that just looks absolutely fantastic, and we're going to gush about that. And Nintendo is removing a game from Nintendo Switch Online, and boy, oh boy, do I have lots to say about that. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games. And you can watch my Pokemon Presents video from yesterday. I'm sorry. This company needs to be held accountable. These games do not look good. They do not look like they belong on a modern platform. And this being such a large company, people should hold them to a higher standard. You see these small companies making these awesome looking games, and it's just like the Pokemon games just look so soulless. But you know what doesn't look soulless? The real big announcement from yesterday. The real cool looking game. And that, my friends, Terminator 2D No Fate. Holy crap. Holy crap on a stick. Bitmap Bureau, Reef Entertainment, you have outdone yourselves with this game. If you're a fan of the Terminator franchise, this will be right up your alley. Obviously very retro inspired in terms of the graphics, but everything about this looks amazing. And you know what this is? It's fan service. It's making a 2D Terminator game that honestly we never got back in the day, because all the 2D Terminator games just, Terminator Sega CD was all right, but the other games weren't that great. RoboCop versus Terminator wasn't really a Terminator game, more so than a RoboCop game, but this looks absolutely awesome. It's kind of a retelling of the Terminator 2 story, which for many people is the favorite of the franchise. Me personally, it is my personal favorite, but I just love the art style of this game. The game has been in development for about 3.5 years. It will be coming out on September 5th, and it'll be coming out on PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. This was the exciting Nintendo Switch game announcement of yesterday, and I will die on that hill if I have to, because Pokemon is just soulless. It's just regurgitated and reused assets in the same old, whereas this is passion. This is fun. This looks awesome. And yeah, it's kind of the old man in me. I'll give you some of that. But what else I'll give you is a quality game. And you know what? This is going to be a very quality game. I am super stoked for this. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. They have a physical edition as well of it. They're doing a collector's edition that I might actually pick up, because I'm a big Terminator 2 fan. Like, growing up, when I grew up, like, that was just such an iconic movie. It was just so big. It was, larger than life for a lot of kids. So, I guess if you don't have nostalgia for this, it might not hit as hard, and you might want to play just another palette swapped Pokemon game. But for me, this is right up my alley. Let me know in the comment section down below, though. What do you think about Terminator 2D No Fate? Like I said, comes out on September 5th, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation, along with PC if you're a personal computer gamer. And our other topic that we have to talk about, because as per usual, if it's anything kind of negative towards Nintendo, people just dismiss it. Oh, it's not a big deal. This isn't a big deal, but it is a big deal. And it shows you the signs of what could potentially happen in the future if we don't say anything about this, if we let things like this happen. That's why Pokemon's in the state that it's in, because everyone just lets it happen. They still sell 15, 20 million copies. But I digress. Nintendo of Japan is actually removing a Nintendo Switch Online game from the classic game lineup. Now, the classic game lineup has been very interesting, to say the least. It seems like some months they care about it and they add in, some new Super Nintendo games, some Genesis games, some N64, Game Boy and stuff. And then some months it's just like a complete dry spell. There's no rhyme or reason as to when we get new games or what these games are going to be. We kind of just learn about them, sometimes the day of their release onto Nintendo Switch Switch Online. Many people who are familiar with Nintendo might remember the era of the Virtual Console with things like the Nintendo Wii and the Nintendo Wii U, which I think were some of Nintendo's strongest things that they've ever done in terms of classic games being available on their modern platform at the time. The Virtual Console was awesome. It had a great variety of systems, things like TurboGrafx 16, Game Gear, arcade games. The Wii U expanded upon that with things like the Nintendo DS, and we all kind of assume that a new system is going to be added into Nintendo Switch Online for the Nintendo Switch 2. So why are they removing a game? Well, here's what we got from Nintendo of Japan. Super Formation Soccer from Spike Chunsoft. A title included on Super Famicom Nintendo Switch Online will cease distribution at 10 a.m. on Friday, March 28th, 2025. Once distribution ends, even those who have already downloaded Super Famicom Nintendo Switch Online will no longer be able to use it. So even if you have the service and you've played the game, you're no longer able to play it as of March 28th, 2025. That's a month away. And I know what you're saying to yourself, well, RGT, who's playing Super Formation Soccer? That's not the point. The point is not the game in question. If anything, the game in question should actually raise more red flags, because I could see if this was like a licensing issue in terms of something like audio or, you know, a video clip or an actor's likeness or something used in it. And maybe, you know, like when you talk about automotive games, you know, games like Gran Turismo, the reason they never like remaster older Gran Turismo games is because those licenses for those cars have long expired. This is Super Formation Soccer from Spike Chunsoft. What sort of trademark would need to be renewed for this? And it always brings up the question of, you know, if you're able to do it with this one game, who's to say that other companies won't do the same thing? Who's to say that other games won't be removed? And I think it's much like, you know, Xbox bringing their games over to PlayStation when it was initially just a couple, and it's only going to be a couple, but then the floodgates open, and then all of a sudden everything is coming. And I'm not saying it's a situation like that, but why is this? I would like to know, why is this being removed? What is the cause of this being removed? And this now sets a precedent that anything can be removed at any point in time. And I don't like that. I don't like that, because even if we go back to the Virtual Console days, if you bought something and then it was removed, it didn't matter because you already bought it. It's already in your collection. You already own the game. And that's kind of a problem of Nintendo Switch Online when it comes to the classic game lineup, you know, with them using essentially like just a different way where you don't own it. It's almost like an a la carte Netflix style thing. And you see those problems with Netflix. You see those problems with every streaming service that exists, where content constantly gets removed or cycled out. And if we're going to be removing and cycling out content for Nintendo Switch Online, I don't think I like that. I don't think I like that at all. And if that's going to be the case going forward, then I might second guess having Nintendo Switch Online, because I would be under the assumption that whatever you're giving me on the, you know, classic game lineup side of things would be intact for as long as the service is around. So, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword. A lot of people are going to downplay this. Oh, it's no big deal. But it is a big deal, because every big deal that's ever happened in any facet of life has started out as a small deal, has started out as something that was not a big deal until it became a big deal. So I don't like it. I don't like it. And I want people to talk about this. I think people need to speak up about this, because it sets a dangerous precedent going forward, because now any game could be potentially removed for whatever reason. You don't even need a reason. You just remove it. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. But maybe you like it. Maybe you're a sicko, and maybe it turns you on to have games removed from Nintendo Switch Online. Let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Let me know what you think of Terminator as well. I'm super stoked on that game. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.